Clancy, you knew this was going to be a tight race. There were 15 candidates in this race, but there's one candidate in particular that I hear you were really surprised by tonight.
Yeah, that was Gary Chambers. Looking at the results in Orleans Parish, Gary Chambers is actually running ahead of Karen Carter Peterson in Orleans Parish. Now there are 7 precincts out in the entire district. All of them are in Orleans Parish. So when those results come in, we'll have 100%. But right now, we've got over 98% of the votes in, and it's Troy Carter and Karen Carter Peterson. But Peterson, who is from New Orleans, is running 3rd in Orleans Parish with all but 7 precincts reporting. And I don't know that she's going to pass up Gary Chambers in Orleans Parish. Now, district-wide, Chambers is running 3rd, but he has run a very surprising race, very strong race. If he had had more of a presence in Jefferson Parish, he would have made the cut and made the runoff, but he ran 4th in Jefferson Parish. He ran 2nd in Orleans Parish, and he's from Baton Rouge. So that's an astounding showing by Gary Chambers. He is the true outsider in this race. The 2 candidates who didn't win this race, but they made the cut, Troy Carter and Karen Carter Peterson, have between them been in politics for more than half a century. So you've really got 2 establishment candidates making it to the runoff, which is not surprising. They had the most money, they had the most name recognition, they had the most organization. But Gary Chambers has clearly established himself as a force in this district and in Southeast Louisiana. And as of tomorrow morning, when Troy Carter and Karen Peterson wake up, they each have 0 votes. They got to go out and get all their votes all over again, and then some more on April 24th.
Well, when it comes to getting those votes, you now have all those voters who came out for Chambers. What happens to them? Do they pick one side over the other?
I don't think you're going to see a block vote going in one direction necessarily, because I think the vast majority of Chambers voters were looking for an outsider, and what you have left are 2 insiders. Regardless of what they say, these are 2 insiders who made the cut tonight. And it's not a surprise. It's what everybody thought would happen. But what the big surprise is that with only 7 precincts out, Chambers is about 700 votes ahead of Karen Carter Peterson in Orleans Parish, her home base. And his home base is Baton Rouge, which, interestingly enough, Peterson ran 1st in East Baton Rouge Parish. So a lot of surprises when you look at the parish by parish returns, but overall, it's not a big surprise other than that Gary Chambers came within 1,600 votes of passing up Karen Carter Peterson and making this runoff.
Well, when you talk about the difference in votes on her home turf, could that prove anything big that we should watch next month?
No, the precincts that I looked at showed that Chambers was actually doing very well among white voters, which tend to be millennials and progressives. He ran as the most outspoken progressive in the race. And when you think of the progressives in Washington, you think of those who ran as outsiders. People like Ocasio-Cortez, that's kind of what Gary Chambers was in this district. So, I don't know where his votes are going to go. Some of them may stay home, and others will perhaps wait to see who he endorses, if anyone. But you've had a Republican who ran a strong 4th in this race. You have 3 other Republicans besides that one. You had 4 Republicans in this race. So the vote's going to split up, but overall we had about an 18% turnout, which is low, but it's actually higher than many people thought, including myself. I thought we'd be somewhere below 15%. I didn't like thinking that, but that's what it looked like early on. But it looks like, particularly because of Chambers' organization, he got a lot of people out who might not have ordinarily voted. And we'll see if that stands up on April 24th, and if any of the other voters who didn't vote today decide to get out and vote.
All right, we've been talking a lot about the 2nd congressional district election, but are there any other elections that we should be talking about or keeping an eye on at this time?
Well, in our viewing area, there's going to be a runoff in Jefferson Parish for a state House seat in House District 82, which is Old Jefferson and Old Metairie. It's the seat that launched Steve Scalise's political career. It's for the State House of Representatives. And in that race, Eddie Connick ran 1st, no surprise. Laurie Schlegel ran a fairly close 2nd, both of them Republicans. It's a very Republican-leaning district. There were only 3 candidates. The Democrat, Raymond Delaney, pretty much got the Democratic vote. And now it starts all over. Eddie Connick and Laurie Schlegel wake up tomorrow with 0 votes. They got to both start knocking on doors and pounding the pavement to see who gets the most votes on April 24th.
All right, Clancy, thank you so much.